my confident and honest Aries friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Aries, this week arrives with a particular weight on your chest, a dense mix of pride and uncertainty. There's a sense that something unsaid is lingering behind your words, coloring the air between you and those around you. You might feel like you're holding your breath, waiting for a moment when you can finally exhale, but unsure when, if ever, that moment will come. There's restlessness in your heart, a quiet frustration that simmers beneath your daily actions. Perhaps you've sensed yourself bracing against criticism or misunderstanding, unsure if you've been too sharp or not sharp enough. Even the things you care about most seem to carry a tension, the desire to be understood and the fear that honesty might cost you closeness. There's an edge to your mood, and beneath it, a tenderness you'd rather not show. If you're honest with yourself, there may be a small ache where connection used to feel effortless. You want to be seen for who you are, and you want space to do things your way. At the same time, you can't shake the feeling that something has shifted or that something needs to change. This week, you're living in that pause, caught between wanting to defend your ground and longing for a softer landing. There's a moment, Aries, when the urge to defend yourself takes over. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet withdrawal, a stubborn silence, or a sudden retort that leaves the air charged and brittle. This is where the 5 of Swords appears, reflecting that inner landscape shaped by old battles and small resentments. You might notice yourself replaying conversations, turning over words that hurt or stung, trying to decide if you were right to stand your ground. There's a flicker of pride in your chest, a need to be respected, even if it means keeping others at arm's length. The sense of victory feels hollow, though. Winning an argument or holding your position might bring brief relief, but there's a cost, a subtle disconnection that lingers after the dust settles. Underneath it all, you carry a vulnerability you don't show easily. It's possible you've felt misunderstood lately, or as if people around you don't quite grasp the pressures you're under. At times, you might wonder if reaching out is worth it, or if it's safer to keep your guard up. Even moments of success may feel isolated, as if you're looking out from a fortress rather than standing beside allies. There's an ache for validation, but also a deep reluctance to depend on others for it. You may find yourself both wanting to prove a point and wishing someone would simply see your side without explanation. It's an inner tug-of-war, and the exhaustion can settle into your bones. This week, the tension between pride and longing is especially acute. You don't want to give ground, but you're growing tired of the fight. The space between you and others feels wider, and you're not sure how to cross it, if crossing it is even possible. You're left with the question of what is truly worth defending and what is quietly asking for forgiveness or release. From this place of edgy self-protection, your path begins to reveal itself. The walls you've built, whether with words, actions, or silence, have shaped the events unfolding around you. You can feel the pressure mounting, not just from others, but from within. Every interaction seems to carry extra weight. Little things that might have been overlooked now feel amplified. Every look, every pause, every unspoken word seems charged with meaning. Your emotional landscape is restless, as if you're waiting for a sign that it's safe to let go. The urge to protect yourself is strong, yet it's starting to feel less satisfying. The world keeps moving, and you sense that clinging to old defenses might be keeping you from something softer, something new. You begin to notice where your need to be right or to remain unyielding has closed doors that could have been opened. The pressure is not just about external circumstances, it's about the inner cost of holding on so tightly. The tension you feel is inviting you to notice what you're missing while you're busy protecting yourself. There's an emerging awareness that the only way forward may be through vulnerability, even if it feels risky. This realization doesn't come all at once. It arrives in small moments. A gentle word from someone you trust, a fleeting sense of longing, a quiet realization that you're ready for something to shift. The path ahead is not about winning or losing, but about allowing something different to unfold. The momentum is building toward a change, and you are at the center of it, deciding whether to soften or stay behind your walls. As the week unfolds, the Ace of Cups makes its presence known. It doesn't arrive with fanfare, but with a subtle invitation, one you might almost miss if you're focused on old wounds. The current of events around you has a softness to it, even as it presses against your defenses. There's a sense of potential in the air, a quiet opening where something fresh could begin. You might find yourself surprised by an unexpected gesture of kindness, or by a moment of emotional honesty that catches you off guard. The pressure you've been feeling is met with an equally powerful pull toward openness, toward connection. It's as if life is offering you a chance to begin again, but only if you're willing to risk showing your real feelings. The friction between your desire to protect yourself and your longing for closeness becomes a kind of crossroads. Old patterns may tempt you to retreat, to double down on your position, but there's another path unfolding at your feet, a path that asks for trust, even if it's just in small ways. The events of the week nudge you toward letting your guard down, if only for a moment. This is not about grand gestures or sweeping changes. It's about the quiet courage to be seen and to see others in return. The momentum is toward healing, but it requires you to notice where you've been holding back. The pressure you feel is not only a challenge, it's an invitation. The world is ready for you to step forward, not as a conqueror, but as someone willing to feel, to care, and to risk being moved. This is the energy moving through your life now, gentle but insistent, asking if you're ready to allow something new to grow where old wounds once lived. The promise of growth, however, is never automatic. It's shaped by what you choose to meet, what you allow to shift within yourself. The potential ahead depends on whether you are willing to engage with these invitations, or whether you return to old patterns out of habit or fear. The space you are entering is not fixed. It reflects your willingness to be present, to notice, and to respond from a place of awareness rather than reaction. The comfort of old defenses is real, but so is the cost. The possibility of something gentler, a new way of relating to yourself and to others, rests on how you meet the moment. If you choose to stay open, even just a little, the experience of your week will be different. If the urge to retreat wins out, the path may feel more familiar, but also more lonely. The future is not set. It emerges from how you show up to what is here now in these small, significant choices. The Five of Pentacles stands at the edge of your week, quietly holding the space where potential lives. This card doesn't promise ease, but it does offer a window into what could change if you meet your discomfort with honesty. There's a tenderness in this space, a recognition that even in moments of isolation or difficulty, you are not truly alone. The growth available to you now is subtle. It asks you to notice what support is still present, even when you feel left out or misunderstood. It's an invitation to see the gifts hidden in your own vulnerability. The path forward might not look like triumph, but it can feel like relief. There's something deeply human about admitting where you hurt, acknowledging what you need, and allowing yourself to reach for comfort, even if it's just in the smallest ways. The Five of Pentacles reminds you that strength is not always about standing alone. Sometimes it's about letting in a little light, letting someone else see what you're carrying. This is not a promise of rescue or sudden belonging. Instead, it's about the quiet courage to recognize your own needs, to let yourself be seen, and to find connection, even if it's imperfect and incomplete. Growth here is gentle, a softening around the places that feel hardest. The possibility is that by facing your own discomfort and reaching out from that place, you discover a new kind of strength, one that is honest, open, and quietly resilient. As the week draws to a close, the threads of your experience begin to weave together. The initial tension, the pride, the longing, the guardedness meets the gentle invitation of something new. You see how easy it is to get caught in old patterns, to fight battles that leave you feeling more isolated than victorious. Yet within that struggle, a softer current has been flowing, asking you to risk a different approach. The urge to protect yourself is real, but so is the longing for connection. By noticing where your defenses have kept you apart, and by allowing even a little vulnerability, you open doors to experiences that feel more nourishing, more human. The week's events show you what happens when you let down your guard, even briefly. There may be moments of discomfort or times when you wonder if it's worth it. But in those moments something shifts, a sense of relief, a quiet recognition that you don't have to carry everything alone. The energy of the Five of Swords, the ache for understanding, gives way to the possibility of the Ace of Cups, the fresh start that comes from honesty. And as you stand at the edge of the Five of Pentacles, you find that growth is not about perfection, but about allowing yourself to be real, to be present, to be seen. In the end, the story of your week is not one of conquest, but of softening, not of victory, but of genuine connection. There is reassurance here. Even in tension, there is the possibility of relief. Even in distance, there is a path back to yourself and to those who matter most. You are not alone in this. You are simply learning in your own way how to step closer to yourself, to others, and to the life you are shaping. Actionable insights for Aries this week. Let yourself pause before reacting, just to notice how you actually feel in the moment. If you sense yourself pulling away, try sharing one honest thought with someone you trust. Notice the small ways you are already supported, even if it doesn't look perfect. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I notice the tension in my chest and breathe. I am allowed to feel uncertain and still move forward. My vulnerability is not weakness, it is my strength. I am here, present, and open to connection. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.